Absolutely, that time is here again. You can't be wrong with that signature tune. It's time for your Monday night football fiesta. What do you call it? Total football, and we are back. Yes, with another thrilling moments in the exciting, thrilling, electrifying world of football. Somewhere else they call it soccer, but in this part of the world it's football all the way. So that's what we do here every Monday night. Emenike Agu is my name. So glad to be back talking football on this very beautiful day in the month of beauty. I tell you, everything around us is beautiful. We beautify the environment, we beautify our world. And I guess you are doing the same thing anywhere you are. All right, welcome to Total Football. It promises to be another loaded package, I tell you. What can I tell you? After the excitement, after the anxiety, after all the wait and the hue and cry about the soccer season returning in Europe, it finally did. Of course, England is always the first port of call. So England set the ball rolling at the weekend as the 2019-2020 English Premier League got right on the way with fireworks, I tell you, fireworks. Interesting fixtures and great games played. What a Super Sunday it was. All of that will be here on Total Football. Let's also tell you that Nigeria is bidding to host the 2020 Women World Cup, Under 20 Women's World Cup. Nigeria is a name you cannot ignore, all right, of when it comes to women football at the world stage. And bodies recognize that, especially the World Football Governing Body, as they sent delegates to inspect facilities in 4 cities of Nigeria: Lagos, Asaba, Benin, and Uyo, cities put forward as a host of the 2020 FIFA Women Under 20 World Cup. We'll tell you more. All right. Players have moved places from one club to another. Even my 5 and 6 here in the studio has also moved. You will get to know, in the course of this program. Yes, of course. Bala is on loan to China. Don't worry. Okay. All of those are happening around the world, and we've got the updates coming on this program. Did you know that after Egypt's 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, where Super Eagles, against all expectations, finished 3rd, a little bit disappointment there, but they had the bronze medal. But the biggest gainers are the players, and Nigerian players are moving places. I talk about Osimhen, of course, and Henry Onyekuru. So many of them are trading places in Europe. All of these and many more will be part of Total Football tonight. Once again, welcome. From any part of the world you are watching, our phone lines will also be available for you in the course of the program, so you can talk to us. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll return with a big fish that has joined us here in the studio. He's been on loan from Lesotho to Swaziland to Eswatini. Now he wants to go to Cyprus. We will sell him after the window have closed so that nobody will buy him. Welcome to Total Football. We shall return in a moment. Lights, and I tell you, keep shining everywhere you go. Yes, that's a little break on Total Football as we welcome you back into the studio here, wherever you are watching us live. Let's welcome, the pundits here in the studio. Returning from loan, I tell you, he's been on loan for 6 seasons. He's now a better player, so I'm looking to sell him to Real Madrid, though he prefers Barcelona. Paul Ewurum, nice to have you back in the studio, brother. Welcome. Connect. Of course, the great pundit is also here, Abimbola Timothy, the one I just prefer to call Tim. That gentleman played false 9, for quite a long time, so he's on loan for now. All right, welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Interesting season finally underway.
Absolutely. Interesting season and interesting games over the weekend. And we're excited that the league has started, the Premier League has started, and we just can't stop talking football here every Monday night. So we're excited to be back again.
Interesting.
bread and butter of football. As far as league activities are concerned, is back, and it will only start with the EPL. You know, the EPL to a very large extent is a big brand. It's a league that many Nigerians love to watch. We can't forget the likes of Kanu Nwankwo, Daniel Amokachi, those that made it very popular in this part of the world. We are very happy that the EPL is back.
Exciting. All right. While the transfer window has ended in England, we still have one more week across Europe.
Okay.
Who has made your day talking transfer of players and coaches?
Well, to a very large extent, I think the recruitment of Pepe to Arsenal is a good one because that team, to a very large extent, lacked the quality that it required. The difference between Chelsea and Arsenal last season, the Europa League final, was this issue of quality. Okay. Arsenal were tipped to win that game because of the efforts they had put in before then. But because when it mattered most, when it was time for the quality players in the team to make it count, they were found wanting, and that was the advantage Chelsea had.
All right, let me ask a team, who made your day in the transfer market?
Well, for me, as a patriotic Nigerian, I think Osimhen's move for me to leave was a great one, and I'm excited about it. Absolutely excited.
And he signed on
a very
in a great way.
Absolutely.
All right, let's also tell you that Henry Onyekuru has also joined AS Monaco.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one too.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the rest of the stories breaking on Total Football on this very beautiful day. We start talking Nigeria, where the federal government is 100% in support of the bid by the country to host the 10th FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup final in the year 2020. Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, a prof, he is declared in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Nigeria's #2 citizen spoke when a team from the World Football Governing Body, FIFA, accompanying officials of the Nigeria Football Federation and members of the bid committee, paid him a courtesy call at the presidential villa. And I quote, he says, "The government of Nigeria guarantees to back the bid 100%. We are actually excited with the project, with the prospect of hosting FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in 2020. For us, football is a unifying force. Government interest in hosting is beyond commercial. Football is a measure of unity and well-being of our people, as diverse as we are." All right, earlier on, NFF President Pinnick, Amaju Pinnick, informed the Vice President about the excellent facilities present in the 4 proposed host cities, the stadia training sites, hotels, hospitals, road network security, and seamless air travel. All right, 100% support for FIFA Under-20 Women World Cup by the federal government of Nigeria. Away from the Women's World Cup, we're still on Nigeria, and the pundit here said one of the transfers made a big deal for him. Super Eagles forward Victor Osimhen marked his French League 1 debut on Sunday with 2 goals as last year's runner-up Lille kicked off their new campaign with a 2-1 win over Nantes. Christopher Galtaz Wolves, who finished 16 points behind champions Paris Saint-Germain last season, were indebted to Osimhen at the stadium. Per Moreau, Osimhen, who joined the Great Duns on a long-term deal to replace Nicolas Pepe, who switched to Arsenal for £72 million, took a fitting first step towards replacing the new gunner, scoring just after 19 minutes on the field. I quote him right now. He says, "When I have opportunities, I don't want to miss them." 20-year-old Victor Osimhen said after that match, "I'm not yet 100%, but I'm training hard, and I know that with time, I will be in top shape physically." Congratulations, Victor Osimhen. But crossing over from Lille of France, we arrive in AS Monaco. When you say AS Monaco, Nigerians are in love with that team. What can I tell you? The great Prince of Monaco, former African Player of the Year, Victor Ikpeba, once donned the colors of Monaco. And that's in a related development. Oshime's Eagles teammate Henry Onyekuru also arrived AS Monaco, sealed a 5-year contract with the team. And he is going to go through medicals and then we'll put pen to paper. And just as we are entering the studio, news got to us that all is now clear. Henry Onyekuru is now player for AS Monaco. Parent club Everton also believed to have agreed to 15 million euros transfer for the Nigerian exciting winger. And this was after Everton's application for work permit for the player was not granted by the British Home Office. Wow. Okay. We told you earlier on that Prince of Monaco, Victor Ikpeba, was the most successful Nigerian star at the Principality Club, where he won the French Ligue 1 and was crowned CAF Africa Player of the Year 1997. The likes of Sonny Keita and Lukman Haruna also have played for Monaco. All right, welcome. Let's leave Africa and go to England, where Frank Lampard had the baptism of fire as the coach at Stamford Bridge. We can tell you that it is not all going down well with former boss of that team, Jose Mourinho, and he has, we can tell you that former Chelsea boss, Jose Mourinho, compounded the woes of his former player and now coach of the club when the Portuguese lashed out at the awful performance of Chelsea in their 0-4 loss to Manchester United, and that was on Sunday. He has hit back at Mourinho, his old boss, working as a pundit for a TV organization in the UK. Mourinho took issues with Lampard's team selection for his first competitive game in charge and singled out Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, and Andre Christensen. He says, and I quote Mourinho, "My feeling is that today they had possibility to play with more know-how." That's technicality. Okay, so, and that didn't go down well with Frank Lampard. Mourinho says a little bit of experience would fit well with the team. You look at the performance of Mason, Tammy, and even Christensen for matches of this dimension, I can tell you Lampard needed just a bit more. And Lampard himself reacted with disbelief when told about Mourinho's performance and disagreement with the game they played. And here, Frank Lampard, and I quote, he says, he didn't like the performance of Mason. Really? Did he say Mason Mount? He's asking. Okay, and he goes ahead to say, I don't have to be concerned about what anyone else says, the pundits, but what is clear is the squad we've got, and I believe in it. Let's leave it there. All right, let's leave it there. He believes in the squad he has. I'm sure the pundits here will say more about that. But let's move on. History is being made as France Stephanie Frappart will become the first woman official to take charge of a major UEFA competition match when Liverpool faced Chelsea in the Super Cup in Istanbul, and that is Turkey, August 14. We can tell you FIFA has confirmed that. UEFA also confirming that there will be a first female referee for that match. 35-year-old Frappart officiated the Women's World Cup final just last month, which saw the United States beat Netherlands. She was the first woman referee to officiate a French Ligue 1 match when she took charge of Amiens against Strasbourg back in April, and also became the first woman to be named in the pool of referees in France's top league next season. Listen to this. The potential for a woman football has no limit, and I'm delighted that Stephanie Frappart has been appointed to officiate at this year's UEFA Super Cup match. And that's UEFA president himself, Alexander Kaferin, talking over there in Europe. All right, congratulations, Frappart. UEFA chief refereeing official also said Frappart fully deserves the opportunity to officiate in that game. Okay, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you at the Center of Men. And that's on Wednesday. Finally, on the news tonight, we stay in France, where the fans of French League on side PSG are tired of antics of Brazilian star Neymar Jr. and want him out of the club. In the club's 3-0 home win against Nimes, Neymar was an anonymous absentee and has been the subject of protests from supporters who want him out of the club. The Brazilian has been the subject of interest from former club Barcelona and Real Madrid. According to media reports reaching us from France, PSG supporters unfurled banners featuring X-rated messages. Wow, that's a bad one. One banner from the supporters read, "Neymar, go away, go away, go away, just go, we don't want you." All right. You know, if you want to speak in Neymar's language, Neymar casse-toi. Neymar casse-toi. Go away, we don't want you. All right. Okay, let's stop it there. Let's end the news there. What will become of Neymar, guys?
Well, Neymar is a quality player. We can't take anything away from him, despite his misbehavior off the field. He's a player that every manager will want to have in his side. Okay, it's no surprise that the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona want him in their fold. But if you ask me, I think survivor should be considered when taking a decision. If I were to be in Neymar's shoes, and if you ask me,
all right, FIFA officials in Nigeria inspecting facilities put forward for the hosting of next year's 2020 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. And guys, just one comment from each of you. Nigeria will provide needed facilities.
Well, like we were saying off, the star man in all of this has to be Amaju Pinnick. You know, the guy, since he came back to the helm of affairs, he has achieved a lot. The first man to bring the FIFA president down here in a long while. Under him, Nigeria won the last the Nations Cup. Now he's bringing a FIFA-recognized tournament to Nigeria. We need to give him some credit.
And I think kudos also to the federal government of Nigeria. No hosting without government backing.
No way. And, when you have the backing of the government, that means you are very good to go. And now the federal government has, come out to, show that they are fully in support of Nigeria's hosting of the Women World Cup. And I can tell you that we are very, very ready for that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Ready to host the world in 2020. Let's leave it there and take a quick break. When we return from this break, we shall be talking foreign and international, and we shall start from England, where it has all started at the weekend. This is Total Football. If you've just joined us, the show is just about to begin. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Danger here. Oh, he's there. That is sensational. This is special. With one swing of his gifted right foot.
All right, great to have you back. This is Total Football. Our time is flying, and there's so much to give you on this very beautiful, beautiful day. Let's start from England. Super Sunday it was. All the matches didn't matter until Chelsea visited Old Trafford. Hey, did you see that result? That scoreline, yes or no?
Let me answer that question with another question. Did you just say that all the matches before the Chelsea game
Didn't matter. Until we met Chelsea, until Chelsea went to Old Trafford.
I don't think I want to reckon with that because Man City going away to hammer West Ham it should be scary to every.
It's expected that Man City would win that game.
But
Yeah.
Was it expected that Chelsea would lose 4-0 to Manchester United?
Absolutely. No one saw that coming.
Nobody.
And, it was a huge one. And it was a huge one, and it was a very, very humiliating defeat for the newly appointed coach Frank Lampard.
What a way to welcome him.
What a way! It was it was not a nice way at all.
It wasn't at all. Let's go and enjoy the highlights of that match. I know you guys have a lot to say about that, but the interesting thing is that that man, the special one, remains special. He is talking. It was his former two teams, Bram.
Oh, yeah.
If you were Jose Mourinho
Oh, yeah.
and you were sitting like you guys are sitting, analyzing on whose side we...
The man is unemployed, if you must know. So, what do you expect from an unemployed individual? I don't. You see, some of the things he has said, I will take with a pinch of salt. The reason is because if you look at that game, the result of that game didn't really reflect the efforts Chelsea put.
Is it effort that will count or result? Is it effort or result that
They had
matter?
very good chances.
Hey,
They
brother, I
took
just
the
asked a
ball,
simple
but-
question. Is it effort or result that matter?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go
result
look at
matters,
that
but we
game.
have to consider
It should
the
be-
efforts.
When we come
put in.
back, we'll address Paul's comment. Mourinho spoke after the game, really, and you needed to listen to him talk about that game. This is Manchester United against Chelsea, and then afterwards, we'll listen to Jose Mourinho.
Chelsea legend. And there is a trend going on right now in global sports where legends are coming into coaching. And because of their legendary status in the team, they are easily welcomed into the team as a coach. But I think I will agree with those that feel or think that Lampard shouldn't be a head coach now. He should understudy an experienced coach before he takes over a team of Chelsea's caliber. So I think
He's
that-
too young?
No, too young as a coach, so to speak. You understand, but not young as a person. When Mourinho won the Champions League in FC Porto, he was a very young coach.
May I ask you, I'm sorry to ask, what about Di Matteo that came in as a former player and won Champions League for Chelsea? What about Zinedine Zidane that coached Real Madrid and won 3 Champions League?
Di Matteo won Champions League on the back of other coaches' efforts.
I don't understand. There is no
Just
team
like-
without a coach
just
before
like-
another coach takes over. What do you
Just
think?
Like,
What do you think?
The Israeli man won the Champions League, with Chelsea.
I'm not sure you will say this about Man City when it comes to Guardiola. I'm not sure you will say this about Manchester City when it comes to Guardiola, riding on the back of another coach to win. Paul,
My take, as far as the presence of Lampard in that team is concerned, I think Lampard should be given the opportunity. Lampard should be given a chance to prove his ability. Lampard is not different from Solskjaer, okay? He's not different from Zinedine Zidane. This is like he mentioned, is a trend. And except you give them the opportunity to express themselves, one game is just a game. You can't use a game to assess the quality. So my only advice to Lampard is to reconsider his strategy, his game plan.
Okay.
I think sitting back and catching the opponent on the counter should be a better tactics for him because he didn't have the opportunity to recruit players into his fold, like other managers. So he should reconsider his tactics.
Let's move
what
on.
he needs now.
Let's move on. Okay, let's keep our eyes on Chelsea. Let's keep our eyes this season on Frank Lampard.
Absolutely.
After the baptism that he got at Old
Probably
Trafford.
after
It could be a
eight
wake-up call,
games.
really.
Yeah.
It could be a welcome, a good welcome.
Yeah, it could, yeah.
Let's see what happens. As you said, legends are now, taking over everywhere. All right, you guys will one day become legends. Okay, let's leave England for now. Let's leave England. The other results are expected. Manchester United
Man
winning,
City.
Liverpool winning, Tottenham winning. They are all expected. They are all expected. They asked Mourinho, who do you think will win the season this year? Look at the result. So Liverpool beating Norwich City 4-1 is normal. West Ham losing 5-0. I don't know if it's normal, but West Ham to beat Manchester City, it would have been news. All right. Bournemouth against a debutant returning to EPL Sheffield United. 1-1, I'd say is a good result for Sheffield United. Burnley, of course, they will always be there. Southampton losing their great players, finding it difficult to retain their position. Crystal Palace 0-0 against Everton. All right. Unless it will be moving to Everton, we will keep our fingers crossed to see of what impact. Nigerians like AS Monaco, Everton is their home, all the way. So look at the table the way it is now. Somebody will say, what is Chelsea doing in the 19th position?
We don't need to start looking at the table now.
But if you must win, you have to start from week 1. Paul, if you must win the league, you have to start from week 1.
Well,
Look at City. Look at United. But what, anyway, is 1-1-1-1-1. So, like I said, I might be right. If you must win, you must start.
Yeah, it's
from
good to start
week 1.
on a winning note, and it's encouraging. It boosts player psyche and all that. But we cannot determine a whole lot of things
After week 1.
After week 1.
All right. Well said. Well said.
I said something earlier. As much as you consider the game between Manchester United and the scoreline between Man U and Chelsea as news, I think you should also consider that of Man City as news. The reason why is because we have seen Manchester City win the league back-to-back. Guardiola, he sends jitters into the spine of other fans. Is Guardiola going to win this league again?
Let's make that the topic for next Monday. Can Manchester City do treble of the league, back-to-back, 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 back-to-back? That will be the topic for next Monday. You will be here. You will be here.
Yeah.
We must talk about that. After all, I tell you, Guardiola is not happy just winning the league after Barcelona. He wants to win the Champions League, so it's not anything to him. Quote me any day. All right, let's go on to France. Our time is so far spent. Lille is celebrating. Lille was the club for former Super Eagles goalkeeper.
Yeah, and even Osaze
Eyama?
Yeah, so it's not a new place to Nigerians. We have that affinity with that team.
With Nigeria, yeah. Lille is a club in France that is at home with African players. They lost one great player from Cote d'Ivoire, Laurent Pepe, who moved on to Arsenal and replaced with a Nigerian who arrived, with all pomp and pageantry. And the guy pumped in 2 goals in their opening game against Nantes. And it is all, Victor Osimhen, you are the hero, 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 hero. So they are celebrating. It was a good buy for them. And we'll see how it goes. Like my pundits say here in the studio, it's just week 1. All right. But this is Victor Osimhen enjoying his game as he made a debut in France. Okay, great welcome to France, great welcome to Lille, and great welcome to Ligue 1 in France. For Nigeria's Victor Osimhen, banging in 2 goals in his first match against Nantes. Okay. Hey, just before we round off, one question. Can Victor Osimhen really wear the boots of Pepe? Can he fit into those shoes?
I think he can fit into those shoes. Victor Osimhen is a very good and prolific striker, and I trust that he's going to fit into those shoes, and he's going to do even beyond a lot more respect. He's a good player, and he's going to show that he's a good player.
Well, regarding this question, I will neither be here or there regarding this. All I would say is for us to keep our fingers crossed and see how everything pans out. So let's see if he can prove his ability. There is a big shoe for him to fill in. Let's see if he can be able to do it.
Big shoe to fill in for Victor Osimhen. All right, we'll keep our eyes on France again. Chelsea, Lille, and Monaco this time around. When the La Liga starts, my guys will be here to tell us the club to keep our eyes on. And I guess that will be Real Madrid. Zinedine
Barcelona,
Zidane.
always.
Bad preseason, terrible preseason. But we'll keep our eyes on Real Madrid, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
pleasure,
That's
it's
how
a
we do
pleasure.
it every Monday
yeah.
night. Your Monday Night Football, we simply call it Total Football. It's total all around the world. We'll bring you updates, highlights, and analysis of what is happening around the world in football. Emenike Agu is my name. Thank you so much for watching. We'll do it again same time next week. We'll leave you on this note, the transfers. Who made your top 10 in the transfer market 2019? Enjoy it and keep shining.
This 2019 summer transfer window has seen huge sums spent across Europe. Here we round up the top 10 most expensive deals. Number 10. Tungo Ndombele Lyon to Tottenham for £63 million. Tungo Ndombele became Tottenham's record signing, while Lyon had only paid £7 million for the central midfielder 12 months earlier. Tottenham spent big to secure the services of the 22-year-old, who looks set to be a key figure for Mario Pochettino this season. And now TalkSport has smashed the transfer record and paid £63 million for Tungo Ndombele. We will wait to see how this turns up. And at number 9, Frankie de Jong, Ajax to Barcelona for £65 million. Frankie de Jong has joined Barcelona from Ajax, and with the 22-year-old midfielder, de Jong joined Barcelona for £65 million. That's some profit for Ajax, who bought de Jong from William for just £260,000 of the summer of 2015. And the Dutch age is now tutored. They won the race for the signature of Felix from Benfica, but they had to pay an eye-watering £113 million to land the 19-year-old. And now all eyes will be on the forward to see whether he can back up his breakthrough season. Felix, who will be laced with replacing goals and assists of Antoine Griezmann, caught the eye of many top European clubs after scoring 20 goals in 43 matches for Benfica in 2018-2019 season, and going to make his Portugal debut during the National League. Benfica going on to make his Portugal debut during their Nations League finals triumph. Now sitting on number 1 is no one but Eden Hazard, from Chelsea to Real Madrid for a whopping £130 million. It was no news, but Chelsea fans have been afraid of this. But Eden Hazard finally completed his long-term talked-about transfer to Real Madrid in early July. Moving to the club he dreamt of playing for as a boy for a huge £130 million transfer fee. Once all bonuses are taken into account, Hazard will go down as one of Chelsea's greats after making 352 appearances, scoring 110 goals, winning 2 Premier League titles, 2 Europa Leagues, an FA Cup, a League Cup, and now he will focus on proving that he can deliver on one of the biggest and the most scrutinized stages in football. That's our top 10 list for today. Stay tuned to Total Football and Sports Safari.